táyé ń gbọ́. Ó ń sẹ́lẹ̀lẹ̀. Ó milẹ̀ tìtì. Sọ́sẹ́sẹ́ rédíò Ìbàdàn. Ìkànnì táyé ń gbọ́. Ó ń sẹ́lẹ̀lẹ̀. Ó milẹ̀ tìtì. Sọ́sẹ́sẹ́ rédíò Ìbàdàn. Ìkànnì táyé ń gbọ́. Ó ń sẹ́lẹ̀lẹ̀. Ó milẹ̀ tìtì. Sọ́sẹ́sẹ́ rédíò Ìbàdàn. Ìkànnì táyé ń gbọ́. Ó ń sẹ́lẹ̀lẹ̀. Ó milẹ̀ tìtì. Sọ́sẹ́sẹ́ rédíò Ìbàdàn. Ìkànnì táyé.
Thank you so much for being there this morning. We appreciate you. I am very glad to be here this morning. I'm sure you are very glad also to have me this morning. We are so sorry for not being able to be here last week, Thursday. But thank God this is the last Thursday in the month of February, 29th of February. I was just thinking this on the lighter moon that whoever that is born on the 29th of February, they will not have the opportunity to celebrate their birthdays every year. It means they will be celebrating their birthdays once in 4 years. Is that true? Were you born on the 29th of February? Congratulations to you. Happy birthday to you. All right, business. This is Eco Pointer on Success Radio. Kolawole Kayode is the anchor. Truckload of issues we brought this morning on the program. And as you know it, Nigeria is going through challenging economic time. The challenges at this time are so much. Hey, the poor are crying. And I tell you, even the rich this time are also crying. The civil servants, through the organized labor, Nigeria Labour Congress, they've been staging protests, and they are protested to tell the government that something is wrong somewhere and that something has to be done. Even people who are not in the organized labor, they are also protesting. And as much as people are saying all this, the president, the government officials, they kept saying, this time will not last. There will be succor. The situation will change as soon as possible. And I tell you, even diplomats, I mean foreign officials that are in Nigeria are also saying, no. Nigerian economy is not as bad as people are thinking about. Well, whether that is true or not, those of us who are inside, who are feeling the pain, we are the one that we can say. All right, the program is Eco Pointer on Success Radio Ibadan. Kolawole Kayode is the anchor. On this program, we discuss business issues, economic issues, and financial matters as they concern you, as the issues concern you, as the issues concern your work, your career, your business, your relatives. And when we talk about money issues, economic issues, tell me the person who is not concerned. Even students are concerned. Truckload of information this morning. You need to get to know about them. You need to connect to them. And if you are already connected to us, we will advise, do these three things for us. Help us to share the page. Help us to like the page. Help us to share to your contact. And send your comments to be part of this program. And the Facebook address and the YouTube address of the station to connect us live is Success Radio Ibadan. Success Radio Ibadan. SUCCESS. Then Radio Ibadan. All right, this information is saying from the Nation newspapers that the president is planning an executive order that will ensure that the prices of drugs and pharmaceutical products do not go up and up again as it has been in the last few days and few weeks ago. All right, this one is saying from the Business Day newspapers, it's an RCBN jumbo rate hike will affect investors, borrowers, and savers. All right, see from the Business Day newspapers online, this one says dollars crashes to 1,450 naira after CBN hike rate. After CBN hike the interest rate, dollar crashes to 1,450 naira. Is that a good news? Yet the CBN had been telling us about reform. What are the reforms that CBN has been doing since the inception of the new administration of Central Bank of Nigeria under the leadership of Dr. Olayemi Cardoso? What are those reforms? We will get to know about them and be able to connect to them. You get informed so that you know the right kind of decision you can make for your business and for your career. All right, today is the 29th of February 2024. This is bill for today, an event to come up today that the president of Nigeria, the executive president, of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is to commission a red line rail in Lagos State. It is called Lagos Red Line Rail. That is to come up today. This also is coming from the Punch newspapers, that the amount of petrol that we bring into the country for use on daily basis has really reduced. How does that affect us? What is your business about that? We'll get to know it. Oronsanye reports FG allays fear of job losses. Yes, that is a major concern of civil servants in Nigeria as far as Oronsanye report is concerned. But along this line, somebody else is raising another advice to the federal government, and that is the popular lawyer. We'll get to know the detail. What did he say, and how can we say that supersede the Oronsanye report? Eco Pointer is the program. Success Radio Ibadan is the platform. Kolawole Kayode is the anchor. Alright, due to the increase in the prices of almost all items in the country, in the economy of Nigeria, speaking particularly of the pharmaceutical products and drugs, the federal government is planning an executive order that will keep the prices of drugs and pharmaceutical products in check, such that the prices will not keep rising and rising and rising. That is the plan of the federal government, according to the information from the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mr. Muhammad Idris, as he gave it to the reporters for us to get to know. And how does this affect you as a person if you are in the drug business, in pharmacy industry, you are a medicine store owner, you supply, you deal in pharmaceutical product, health items, you buy, you sell, even those who are using. This is a good news if the federal government is able to do it, and that is to say that the prices of drugs and pharmaceutical products will not be rising as they've been rising in recent time. Now, what is the caution to business people? For the business people, the caution is, don't stock these items with your money. Don't stock them in your store, because you never can tell the items you bought for 10,000 if the price slashed down to 8,000. How do you do it? That is money loss, time loss, risk loss, and so many others. So that is to say, don't stock these items, because you never can tell what is about to happen any moment from now. There is a decline in the price of dollar in recent time, particularly yesterday. So this is to tell the people in the pharmaceutical products that if you go ahead and be stocking this item, if the price slashes, you may not be able to explain it. And especially for business people who loan pharmacy owners, medicine store owners, suppliers of medical items. You see, as many of them who loan money to do business really need to be careful this time. Don't stock so much products and suddenly their prices crash. It will affect. Be careful. All right, this information is talking about the CBN, the Central Bank of Nigeria. The information is saying, how will the hike in the interest rate of the central bank affect borrowers, lenders, and savers? We will recall that on Tuesday, which is on the 27th of February, there was a meeting of the MPC of the Central Bank of Nigeria. MPC is a Monetary Policy Committee. They used to hold meeting. The last one where they hold meeting that was so popular, where they made major changes in the monetary policy of Nigeria, was last year, July. Now they held another meeting in February 27th, and in their meeting, of course, the meeting is chaired under the leadership of the CBN governor, Dr. Yemi Cardoso. Their conclusion, how it affects Nigerians, is that they raise the interest rate from 18.75, they raise it by 400 basis points. They raise it to 22.75. Hey! And their argument was that the essence of doing it is to curb, to reduce inflation. Because the inflation in Nigeria, as at date, is 29.9%. Almost 30%. Or we should even say 30%. Now, this rate we are talking about that they raised, the monetary policy rate, as determined by the MPC, Monetary Policy Committee. This rate is the rate at which the CBN, Central Bank, will loan money to the commercial banks. Now, if the CBN will loan money to commercial bank at the interest rate of 22.75, the interpretation is that the rate that the commercial banks currently are loaning money out to business people, individuals, users of loan, at a time, it varies. By the time you calculate those rates, sometimes they are up to like 30%, sometimes about 25%. That was when the MPR, when the interest rate from CBN to commercial bank was 18.75. At that time, commercial bank were giving loan to people at 25%, 28%, 30%, or even more. But as we speak, that the CBN is giving loan to banks at 22.75%. That means in Nigeria, there is not likely to be any loan that you will get from banks that will be less than 30, 32, 34% interest. Somebody is saying, where have we found ourselves? Where are we? We are in Nigeria, the land flowing with milk and honey, the land which is the largest producer of crude oil in Africa, the sixth largest producer of crude oil in the world, that is not yet refining every domestic petroleum product that the people can use, the land that is depending so much on imports from abroad in terms of manufactured produce, up to butter, up to clothing, shoes, and so many others. Whereas a lot of things that could be done here were not done. This is the nation flowing with milk and honey, the land where government officials who are controlling the people, they refuse to make use of domestically produced vehicle. They still prefer to go and buy from abroad, and they preach to us that we should use made in Nigerian product. That is the Nigeria that we are talking about. And according to the MPC, in their effort to reduce inflation, they said they are bringing the cash reserve ratio to 32%. That is, every cash that commercial banks have in their hands, at least 32% of that cash should be reserved with the central bank. In case of any shaking or challenges, they will still have something to fall back to. And they also want to use that to reduce how much cash the commercial banks have to play around with or to do their activities. Sorry, that information is 45%. Almost half. That is, it was formerly 32% cash reserve that the banks have to do with central bank, but now it is 45%. That is to tell you that if the bank has 1 million naira that all of us deposit with the bank, 450,000 naira, they have to take it to CBN. They have to reserve that out of the 1 million. It will only be 550 that they will have to give us on the ATM, to give us on the counter, or to issue out as loan and whatever it is like that. Also, the liquidity ratio. Liquidity is talking about how much cash the bank must have on ground. Sorry, it's not economics class, but then, so that we can understand, what is happening in our economy, and we also know how to plan ourselves. Liquidity ratio is how much cash the banks must have in their bank at hand at any point in time. At any point in time, so the new rate for that is 30%. That is, out of the money that they have, if they have 1 million naira, if the banks have 1 million naira, 450,000 must go to central bank as reserve. 300,000, which is 30%, must be available for you and I that want to withdraw cash, that want to transfer on the ATM, that want to transfer on our app. 300,000 out of 1 million naira must be available for their customers to withdraw, to transfer, and to transact with. It means, the meaning is that about 250,000 naira will be what is available for loan that can be given out to people. The interpretation is now the power of banks, commercial banks, to issue out loan has been reduced. They don't have so much money to transact their activities. And how is this affecting you and I? The meaning is that it's only few people that will be able to get loan from banks. That's the meaning. As far as the borrowers are concerned, only few people will be able to get loan from bank. And when that comes, interest rate will go up. Be expecting 32%, 34%. Hey, God forbid, 35% interest. If you borrow 1 million naira from bank, the meaning is that you pay like 320,000 naira as interest within 1 year. Hey! Eco Pointer is the program. Success Radio is the platform. Kolawole Kayode is the anchor. And you know, this period of inflation in Nigeria, 30% inflation, more and more people are not saving their money. People rather prefer to go and spend their money than to save it. You know why? Because it is like if you save your money in naira, you lose the value of that money. If that 1,000 can buy bread, the loaf of bread today, by the time you come next month, that loaf of bread, the same size, might have gone to 1,200 naira, which means there is no encouragement to save money this time. And if we are not saving, future investment will have challenges, because savings is equivalent to investment. There will not be money to invest in future. So it means the situation of the country at the moment is not encouraging savings, and it's making investment to have challenges. The future is not looking bright. And for investors, they don't have enough money that they can get as loan to invest, except there is a fiscal policy, government intervention to do something different. All right, we have it on record that as at Wednesday, that was yesterday, the price of dollar to naira, dollar crashes before the naira wall, and it was selling at 1,450 naira to one single dollar. On Tuesday, the price was 1,550 naira from the black market, but it crashed to 1,450 naira on Wednesday, and the reason has been attributed to the increase in the interest rate by the central bank. What we are expecting is that the crashes, naira gaining against the dollar, should increase. Let it come down more and more. When this government came to power, what we had is that they want to bring dollar to naira to 300 naira to a dollar. That was what the promises were. at the inception of this government. So what we're saying this morning is that let dollar be crashing and let naira be rising until it comes to that 300 naira to $1. At least we'll manage that for now. All right, the same information is also telling us in relation to dollar that about 785 bureau de change BDC are the one that the CBN is giving dollar to, and they give them about $20,000 to be given to the end users. And according to the regulation by CBN, it is that when the CBN give this dollar to bureau de change is to sell to Nigerians and other end users at a price not more than 1% of their cost. For example, if CBN give out dollar to bureau de change at 1,500 to $1, bureau de change should not sell at more than 1%. What is 1% of 1,500? That is 15 naira. So if bureau de change is to sell, they should sell at 1,515 naira maximum. They may sell lower, but that is maximum. That is the regulation of CBN to BDC. But you know, this is Nigeria, the land flowing with milk and honey, the land where almost 200 million, you know, people are very wise, very smart, always looking for their own interests, including the leaders looking for their own interests, and so many don't mind even if the country loses, as much as their own interest is protected. So this issue of bureau de change selling at 1% margin, does it really work? The challenge is that, is CBN regulating this? Do they monitor them? Do they monitor them in Ibadan, in Lagos, in Kano, in Abuja, in Port Harcourt? Do they monitor them? They really need to monitor them. There must be officials that monitor all this, because through this bureau de change, this has been where the price of naira to dollar have been crashing and crashing. If this regulation of CBN is maintained, we want to believe that the price of naira to dollar will not be going up and up and up. Yes. But if it's anyway, we don't know. We are not sure, because so many things that has to benefit the people are not well regulated. You see, a lot of what we are discussing this morning has to do with money, naira, dollar, CBN, banks. But we'll come to other economic issues also. Now, what are the reforms that CBN had been advocating and working on for the benefit of Nigeria, for the benefit of our naira, for the benefit of exchange rate in favor of Nigerians? Nigerian business people, and the Nigerian populace. Number one is unification of the foreign exchange market. The CBN said, according to the policy, the reform they are working on, is that there will not be official rates, there will not be black market rates. That there will be only one rate in Nigeria, and that will be. But as we speak, since the CBN has started this policy, from our assessment, the price of naira to dollar has been going up. It had made dollar to become gold and naira becoming paper. And that had made the price of items to go up. Yes, the price of plastics, the price of shoes, the price of cement, the price of paper, the price of electronics. Some have gone as much as 100% increase, some 50% increase, and like that all across the nation. So in our assessment, we will advise the CBN to look into this policy and to find another way such that because this policy is not helping the foreign exchange market, it's making the price of naira to come down. Naira is losing value almost on daily basis, and Nigerians are suffering for it. And before we leave this, I want to say at this point, you see, in recent time, about 3 months now, is when all prices begin to shoot up and up and up and up. When this government just came in May 29 through June, July, yes, some prices went up, but it was not as bad as this. So this is the observation that the key issue Nigeria is having is not the removal of subsidy. It is the dollar to naira ratio. That is where the problem is. After all, since that last year, it's not that the price of petrol has been going up and up and up and up. The price of petrol has been stable around 600, 700. It had not gone beyond 700 in this country. However, the price of items have gone 50%, 100% in some instances, 200% in some instances. Yes. So the issue here that we're having more in Nigeria is the naira dollar exchange rates. That naira falling before the dollar is where the issue is. It's not the subsidy. All right, another one that the CBN had been working on is the promotion of willing buyer of dollars and other currencies and the willing sellers. That people that are ready to buy from the CBN and their agents, and people are ready to sell their dollars, especially our people who are in the diaspora who send money home, that they should bring their money to the CBN and their agent or to the bank to sell. But the problem had been that when you take your money there, you may not get it at high rates. Yes, CBN may say they want to buy at 1,200. But if you take it to Sabo, Sabo is ready to buy from you at 1,003, 1,004. You know, in economics they say rational consumer. The rational person will prefer where they will get more money. So for CBN to implement this kind of policy is weak. Yes, it's weak. Because when you depend on willingness of the people, I'm sure people will not go your way. They will go the way of their own interests. That is the truth of it. So this policy of the CBN is a weak policy. And I'm not sure it's recording any success at all. This one is removal. Another policy of the CBN is removal of all limits on the margin of international money transfer, operators. Operators from abroad who want to send dollars into Nigeria, sometime before now, there is a limit to how much you can send. But as we speak, CBN is saying there is no limit because we need the dollar. I'm sorry. Whatever is the source of that money that people have from abroad and they want to send home, even if it is $1 million, you can bring it. CBN will not stop that transaction. Yes, they will not stop it. Bring that money in because we need that money in Nigeria. Well, I want to believe that policy will work more. Yes, it will work because it will encourage Nigerians abroad to send money home. Remember, I was just, thinking about this recently, that if you send just $1,000 to Nigeria today, wow, just $1,000. That $1,000 today is at least 1.5 million naira. Just $1,000 is about 1.5 million naira. Wow. So if somebody is out there, if they just send you $100, just $100, just $100, just one note like this, you know how much that one will be? That will be about 150,000 naira. Yes, just $100. Just $100. That will be about 150,000 naira. So people are out there abroad. They have, a lot of chances to bring money into Nigeria. And any money they bring in now, in fact, it's a lot of money in Nigeria. So we encourage our people in diaspora, this time send money home. Yes, to buy things, to buy land, to buy housing, to buy properties, to build, shopping complex, to build companies, to build factories. Send the money home. The money will do a lot here and also help to rescue the nation. And another reform that CBN had been working on is reform in the BDC. Now they are saying they want the Bureau de Change people to have a capital base of about 2 billion naira now. Hey, wonderful. About 2 billion naira now. So it means Bureau de Change is no more a poor man business. It's not I don't have a job, I want to quickly go and be doing Bureau de Change. It has gone beyond that now. And anybody that will operate there, if you don't have that capital base, 2 billion naira, it means you have to become like a agent or worker under those who have that, that capacity. It is those one that has that capacity, that capital base, that CBN will be transacting business with, give dollar to, and they will also now give it to, sell it out. And the meaning is that, those who don't have the capital base, those one will have to be buying from those that have the capital base, and the transaction of dollar may become 3 tiers. CBN, to the registered Bureau de Change, to the unregistered Bureau de Change. So in the long run, the price of dollar may still go up. That's the meaning. The value of naira may still come down. That's the meaning. That's the interpretation. So we want CBN to look at this and see how they regulate this. If this policy will work, they need to regulate it very well. All right, this information is going to the state, the economic activities there. The information is saying today is Thursday, that the president of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will be in Lagos to commission Lagos Red Line Rail. The information is saying that this is the second rail line owned by the Lagos state government. The first one was the Blue Rail Line. Yes, that's the blue rail line, are owned by the state government, and that one, for the benefit of the people who want to ply that line, it moved from Marina to Mile 2 in Lagos. But this new one, the Lagos Red Line Rail, will be going from it will be moving from Agbado area in Ogun State and be moving to Oyingbo in Lagos State, with about 8 stations along the line. So if you do business along that line, it tells you your movement, your transportation becomes better and easier. Now the question we are asking here is that Lagos is doing this. What are other states doing? We need a rail line in Ibadan. Yes, we can have a rail line that be moving people in Oyo State, move us from Oyo to Ibadan. Yes, a lot of commuters ply that road, move us from Oyo to Ibadan, move us from say from Bodija to Dugbe, move us from Roundabout to Challenge. Yes, rail lines, let's have them that will move us and make transportation to be easier. So we call on the state government in Oyo, our excellency engineer Seyi Makinde, to also look into this. You see, a lot of issues, policies have been done by the federal government. The federal government has said they are allowing rail transportation to come to the state level. The state also can work on it. Lagos State has started working. The same thing with electricity. That state can begin to generate electricity and send it to their people. Now, that one also, we want our state to work on it. Oyo State, Osun State, Ekiti, Ondo. Yes, we learn they are having more, allocation from the federation account. So let them use this to better the lives of the people. You see, all these peanuts that the states are giving us in terms of palliatives, sharing a Congo of rice, sharing 2 Congo of beans, and giving some ororo, vegetable oil. Those are peanuts, and it doesn't take anybody anywhere. Under 1 week, people have eaten it up, and there are 52 weeks in a year. If they have eaten for 1 week, what happened to the remaining 51 weeks in a year? They go hungry, and that will not be good enough. But if we create an enabling environment for the people, life will be better. So we are saying the state government should take advantage and also begin to, produce their own electricity, have rail lines. As we speak now, in many parts of this city, Ibadan or your state, and many parts of Nigeria, electricity has become what people are not expecting to come. Why? Because it's like, we don't know, is it that NEPA or the electricity workers are no more working? Is it that the generation of electricity has stopped in Nigeria? What is that ministry in charge doing? The Ministry of Power, what are they doing? All the engineers, what's their job? What are they collecting salary for? Yes, that's the point. Why would people be collecting salary and they are not doing the work? Nigeria is there. We are not seeing the electricity. We are not seeing it. So we don't know what people are doing. And it's a challenge to people. It's a challenge to the leadership. It's a challenge to the minister in charge, the commissioners in charge. And we also want the state to also come in this line, generate electricity, send it to your people, let industry be able to use, let there be, industrialization in our land. All right. right, this is from the Minister of Information in Nigeria in respect to petrol. He's telling us that the issue of petrol in this country, petrol importation, since the time that petrol subsidy has been removed, the ghosts, the spirits, and all the powers that use petrol in Nigeria, they are no more using it. Sorry, that's on a lighter mood. I just said that, on a lighter mood, that before petrol subsidy was removed, Nigeria was using about 66 million barrels per day, according to the GMD of NNPCL, then Mele Kyari. And Nigeria is using about 66 million barrels per day, but now, as we speak, Nigeria is using 33 million naira per day. Those who are using the remaining 33 million liters per day. Now, the 33 million liters that were no more imported and needed, who were using them before, you see, it talks of the laxity in terms of monitoring, even for the government itself. Even the 33 million that we're talking about, are we sure that we are the one that are, using it? Yes, because relatively we see land that the price of petrol in Nigeria is still lower than the price of petrol in our neighboring countries. So if that is the case, are we sure that some Nigerians or some, people that connive with them are still not taking petrol from this country and taking it to other countries to sell, and we say we are importing? And if that also is the case, that the importation has reduced, now the interpretation is that how much dollar we are spending to buy petrol has reduced. Now the dollar we are not spending to buy petrol, where are they? Where is the government putting them? Yes. Why is dollar now scarce? Why are we not exchanging dollar at those sinful amounts, sinful rates? Why are Nigerians suffering if we have more dollar to do other things? So these are the questions we're asking our leaders as far as economic issues are concerned, because they affect the life of ordinary Nigerians on the street. It is because the dollars are not available, they are scarce, and that's why the rate of dollar to naira had been skyrocketing. Nigeria exchanging at 1,700, 1,600 and the likes. If the dollars are available and the government is not spending so much money to import petrol, then we should have more dollars now, and the lives of Nigerians should be better. But as much as government saying they have reduced costs, the lives of Nigerians are not feeling that reduction of cost on their table, and that is what we're supposed to have in a sane society. So let our society be sane also. All right, just before we go, this is somehow a good news, and a good news indeed. And what's the good news indeed? The federal government is saying, Oransanye report, Oransanye report that said the government should match some parastatals, some commissions, a lot of agencies, they should match them so that it can reduce, and it will reduce the government, money that is spent on running them. The Oransanye report, the federal government is saying there will not be job losses. There will not be job losses. The federal government is saying there will not be mass job losses as many people had envisaged. Will there not be job loss at all? When you say mass job loss, that is, there will not be multitude of people losing their job. But will there not be job loss at all? Because somehow there's an accountant in that commission, an accountant in this commission, 3 accountants in that commission, 3 accountants in this commission. By the time the 2 commissions were merged together, what would they be doing with 6 accountants? Are you getting what I'm saying? What would they be doing with 6 accountants? So that is part of the issue. it means the government need to really see how to redeploy people, give them more assignment to do, so that there will not be job loss. We don't want job losses because the economy, the society, the nation is bleeding already. If people lose their job, there will be more bleeding and there will be more chaos economically in the society. So there should not be more job losses, and we want government to help us work more on that. And somebody again had advised the government in person of the popular lawyer Femi Falana. He said, instead of merging parastatals and laying off or reducing the cost money spent on civil servants, why don't government, yes, reduce the number of ministers, reduce the number of special advisors, and merge Senate and House of Rep to become only one house? Instead of, so that we can reduce costs in that aspect, and the money we are going to get from there will be so much. Instead of 44 or 42 ministers, why don't bring them to 20 ministers? Yes. The money we spend on remaining 24 will be used on something else. Instead of Senate and House of Rep and all what we are having, why don't we bring it to just one house? And a lot of billions we get from that will help Nigerians to survive, that will help Nigerians to live well and live better. That is the advice of Femi Falana, the learned fellow, the lawyer. And we hope the government is also listening. And, well, we don't know if they are going to do something about that. All right, on that note, we shall be calling it quits for today on the program Eco Pointer. We look forward to having you again by next Thursday, 11 a.m. in the morning. The program commences. We share business, economic, and financial issues. That's what we do on this program. My name is Kolawole Kayode. I look forward to having you again by next week. I'm sorry my number has changed. The number I have now, particularly for WhatsApp, is 090-2317-5984. But for call, you can call that line, or you can call the one we know before, 070-5317-6276. I call it again for call and text messages, 070-5370-6276. But for WhatsApp, 090-2317-5984. Thank you so much for being there. I appreciate my studio managers who have been helping us so that you can hear us clearly from wherever you are around the world. Thank you so much. See you again next week.